In the democratic fabric of a nation, the role of elected representatives is pivotal. That's why they should be wise, logical, respectful, intelligent and good people. And if they are not such, their career should end immediately as representatives. The Constitution stands as the supreme law, guiding the principles and operations of governance. It is imperative that those who are elected to represent the people not only possess a thorough understanding of this foundational document but also apply its tenets in their legislative actions. The Constitution embodies the ethos of the nation and outlines the rights and responsibilities of both the government and its citizens. The debate on military funding and war fueling, particularly when it involves substantial amounts such as $95 billion, is just very recent spending, continuing the useless wars and crimes. Seems that no one's learned from the recent history. Folks, in this video, I will give you just the quantifiable numbers for simplicity, but remember the colossal human suffering and loss. That is so enormous, that the chorus of the pain cries from all the victims should reverberate and rattle the heaven door for eternity. So, now, back to numbers. The $4.1 trillion during the Second World War was not enough loss for the psychopath rulers to stop this nonsense. No, they just continued, and you know why? Because there were no consequences for them. The warmongers should have to be recruited first, then their adult family members and all their money and wealth, paying for their war. Maybe the carnage and financial loss would have stopped for good, then after the World War II ended. So, because nobody learns from the mistakes they make, the Vietnam War cost $168 billion, or $1 trillion in today's dollars, plus the post-war benefits for veterans and families have cost $270 billion. Paid heavily by taxpayers. Then in Korea $1 trillion, 5% of US GDP, of taxpayers' money. Then, costs of the 20-year war on terror, $8 trillion and 900,000 deaths. Folks, these are just a few examples, to showcase the humongous financial loss, of the US taxpayers. But after World War II, there were more than 200 wars with heavy US involvement. The allocation of funds to foreign wars is a decision that carries significant weight, impacting not only the nation's defense strategy but also its economic health. The economic ramifications of such decisions are profound, often leading to increased government expenditures and potential long-term debt. This, in turn, can affect the national economy and the financial well-being of taxpayers. When discussing the patriotism of individuals within a nation, it is essential to recognize the diversity of expressions and allegiances. However, the act of waving a foreign flag and celebrating actions that severely harm the economic stability of the working class and might ignite a World War III scenario, raises questions about national unity and loyalty. Such actions can be perceived as divisive and contrary to the collective interest of the nation's citizens. Is treason at the highest level because is done by the elected entities, who badly, remorseless, and psychopathically abuse the trust given to them by the population. Why is this so trendy for politicians and so criminal for the rest is baffling. The concept of treason is historically associated with acts that betray one's country. While the term is strong and carries legal implications, it is often used colloquially to express deep disapproval of actions deemed harmful to the nation's interests. In the context of economic policy, the use of public funds, especially if the country has a surplus, is a matter of great public interest. The argument for returning surplus funds to taxpayers rather than spending on military endeavors is a perspective that prioritizes domestic welfare and the alleviation of poverty. Repair the crumbling infrastructure, finance education and finance civil engineering projects. And if there is a surplus of money, all stolen from taxpayers, so, when they realize they stole too much, they could apologize for the wrong action done and stop the illegal and irresponsible squandering of our money, and then give a hefty refund back to each taxpayer. Politicians treat taxpayers' money as you would treat yours. Be frugal, wise and respectful, and do not act like irresponsible brats who do not understand the consequences of their idiotic acts. Start by applying the No foreign entanglement idea from the Constitution, that would create plenty of peace and money for us, here at home. It is very sad how this simple basic concept does not get understood and is continuously overlooked. The responsibilities of elected representatives are manifold, including upholding the Constitution, making judicious decisions about military funding and ensuring the economic prosperity of the nation. The balance between national defense and economic stability is delicate and requires careful consideration of the long-term impacts on the nation and its people. In conclusion, a high-level overview of the issues you've mentioned, emphasizing the importance of constitutional knowledge among representatives, the economic implications of military funding and the broader considerations of national loyalty and fiscal responsibility. It is crucial to approach such discussions with a nuanced understanding of the legal, economic and social factors at play. Now let me address a few words about Christian values, a big advertising factor in our country all over and everywhere. Did you ever ask yourself, then, why we are so militaristic? When and where Jesus Christ was promoting the hideous wars and war destructions of innocent civilian life is nowhere to be found. Because Jesus Christ was a pacifist, is that clear and simple? The Bibles for the military, Navy and Air Force, are the biggest disrespectful blasphemy against Jesus Christ's teachings that are in the New Testament, the only book that we, Christians, should ever consider using and following. As baptized Christians, we all should tear off the Old Testament and toss it into the fire and should avoid it, as we avoid the plague. Why? You might ask. Because all the fuel that instigates and encourages the criminal actions of war is taken from, and they are based on, the violent and psychopathic stories from the Old Testament. We must wise up and understand what it takes to be a real, genuine and honest Christian and, after all, decent human being. Please, tell me what you think, and how you feel about this issue. Analyze it, brainstorm it, debate it, and if you like it, share it. Thank you for watching. I appreciate you, and God bless you.